This month on Ask, Answers, Strategy, and Knowledge, Kylene and I talked about subject to sale offers, why they're making a comeback, the risks to sellers, and what buyers really need to know before writing one. Trying to plan your next move? Tune in. Hey, it's Andy Schildhorn and
Kylene Shannon.
And we're with the Schildhorn Realty Group, and this is Ask. It's Answers, Strategy, and Knowledge, where we're trying to set a forum where we discuss what we come across in our real estate market and bring those questions and answers to produce knowledge for our clients and the people that are watching.
That's right. So talking about the market, Andy, what is it looking like right now?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're supposed to be in our hot spring market, but it's not quite hot. It's a little bit lukewarm. Sales are happening. Buyers are out there.
Yeah.
Homes have to be very specifically priced to attract buyers, but we're seeing different kind of things happening in terms of offers and how people are actually, what strategies they're putting in place. That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are seeing a lot more successful subject to sale offers.
Yeah, we didn't see that before. Remember in 2022 how the market took off and it was all cash?
Oh yeah, no subjects, can be quite risky,
Yeah.
and we had to guide people through that very carefully as well. So
Yes.
it's kind of nice
Yeah, no,
to have subject to sale.
It's a little more calmer. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So for anyone who maybe hasn't experienced it, what is a subject to sale offer?
Yeah. So a subject to sale offer is that, you've been looking with your realtor at different homes and you find the right one, but you need to sell your home to be able to purchase the home that you want to move to. So in your offer that you write to the listing and the listing realtor is that there'll be that clause that said subject to the sale of your home becoming firm within up to a month, maybe even longer. Sometimes we see 2 months, and so that you have a period of time to sell your home and put yourself in that financial position to purchase the home that you want to move into.
Yeah, and that time frame can be negotiable depending on every situation, but you're selling your home before you're purchasing, and we have
once you secured. And you like to have shorter time frames. I think I'm more along the longer time frames. How do you see things there?
I think my perspective shifts depending on who I'm representing. If I represent the seller, I would want a shorter subject removal time for them to sell their home, like 3 weeks to 30 days, because in my mind, they should be ready to go. And if I'm representing a buyer, I would like more ample time to get their home sold. So I think it changes,
Yeah. So, I am thinking though that with that subject to sale that the seller doesn't really have control over what that buyer is doing, and so there's certain risks and rewards that can happen with that because you do have an offer in place and that realtor is trying to sell somebody else's home so that they can buy yours. But at the same time, is the seller, are they losing something?
Well, when you talk about the risks to the seller, when we write in a subject to sale clause, we can help protect them with what we call a time clause or a bump clause. So that bump or time clause basically allows the seller to accept another offer. And what happens is it invokes a period of time, 24 hours, for example, for that first offer that was in place to either purchase the home or not.
Yeah.
So that kind of protects the sellers a bit, so that they're not sitting there for 30 days and then the offer they had, they didn't sell their home and the sellers with,
and they walk away.
And
I call that a first right of refusal. That's what my thought is in terms of where that buyer is sitting. So, and as a listing agent, I'm always thinking that we're still marketing the home, that we're still out there doing open houses, that we're doing our best to bring in another offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Absolutely.
for the buyer's point of view, I guess if you have that shorter time clause to sell your home, you really need to be prepared.
Absolutely, you do. And by that, usually if you're looking for something specific and it's, things are starting to come up and you're like, oh, okay, there's a chance I could find what I'm looking for here. In the flip side of that, you need to have your home like cleaned, decluttered, you know, do all those small tasks we all delay, you know what I mean? So that you can take take photos, do a floor plan with your realtor, have it ready so that when you find that home and you're writing subject to sale, you're able to list it quite quickly and take
Yes.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I even like to go a little bit further than that.
Yeah.
If my client and I are on the same sort of level of understanding, we
Hmm.
we will not only have the house cleaned and the little touch ups done, but we'll do the pictures, we'll do the videos, we'll do the floor plans, we'll do the aerial droning. We'll have all our marketing tools ready to go so that when we find that right home, then
Yeah.
we can be up and listed within a day. Because one of the most frustrating things that I found is
Yeah.
that accepting a subject to sale offer and a week later the buyer's house is still not up for sale.
That would be frustrating. But I'm
Yeah.
curious, Andy, have you ever been bumped?
Bumped. Yeah,
Bumped. Yeah.
yeah,
Have
yeah,
you ever been
yeah,
kicked
yeah. I can
out?
I can think back to many, many, many years ago where we did have a subject to sale offer, and my client absolutely loved this home. She used to deliver flowers every 2 to 3 days to the home that she wanted to move into. It was a very custom built home, and she just loved it. And and
Wow.
and the realtor called me up, and he knew that, and he was very apologetic, and he said, I'm very sorry, but we have another accepted offer, and we need to bump you. And the clause, the time that we had in the contract was 12 hours,
That's
not
not very much
24, not
time.
48. And at that time it was 72 hours because this
Mhm.
was not in the digital age. And so it was 12. And when we wrote the offer, he said to me, either your buyer can do it or they can't. And so
Mm,
there's no need to hold everybody up. You will know whether they can do it. You will know if you have a plan B.
yeah.
I got on the phone, and it was a bit of a development property. It was, you could subdivide it and build two houses there. So I got on the phone. I talked to every builder that I had discussed with the last 30 or 45 days, and we found another offer. We negotiated that offer, and we got a firm sale price so that when I called that realtor back in, like 10 hours later, he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear, that you're gonna." No, that's not
Wow.
the story. You're sold.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and we did
Wow.
it, and my clients are still living in that home, I don't know, 25 years later, you know?
Wow. I
Yeah,
wonder if the flowers helped. I'm
well, I
just
think
kidding.
so, I think so. Oh, and the other thing is we wrote full price because
Yeah.
we were trying not to get bumped, and I
Mhm.
remember the realtor calling me every once in a while saying, "We might be getting an offer, we might be getting an offer,"
Mhm.
but they never really came up to the price that we were. So
Right.
pricing as a buyer, was very important too.
That is a very interesting comment because when you are writing subject to sale offers, you are asking the seller to wait for you in a sense. And
Yeah,
so, I'm not saying you have to write full price, but it's got to be very appealing,
yeah,
whatever that means for that particular property. You know what I mean? When we do a market evaluation. So yeah, so you have to have strong
yeah.
prices. Yeah.
But Kylie, you've got a couple of examples too that you've dealt with subject to sales. I think
Yeah. I
there was
mean, a year and a half ago, I moved myself and I was able, I had to sell in order to purchase. Okay. So this is the first time I'm in our client's, the buyer's seat. And I wrote a subject to sale offer and had my allotted time frame, got the house up quick. I knew, just called in help, hired the cleaners. I got it live. and then you wait. But I do want to mention I did have plan A, B, and C as far as price goes. There was the price I really wanted, A, B, and C. And all of them did work in order to purchase this home. But I needed to have a backup plan because I wasn't going to go through all of that, for nothing. It's a lot of work.
But also too, like you wanted to move into Fort Langley.
I did.
So you
Yeah.
couldn't just sell your home
Yeah.
and then, think about moving to Fort Langley, because where you live now, there
Yeah.
hasn't been another listing in 5 months on that street.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? So if you had sold your house a month ago, you'd be like, where do I do? Where do I go? There would not be
Yes.
anything. So that's where a
Mhm.
subject to sale offer is valuable.
Isn't that everybody's biggest fear?
Yes.
To be so have their home sold and have nowhere to go.
That end goal is so important.
Nobody wants to move
Yeah.
twice.
One of the first questions I ask when I go for a listing appointment. So what is the end goal? Where do you want to be? What is the objective of the exercise? Because
Absolutely.
I don't want to just hear about let's sell our house. I want to know where you're going to go. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
How can I help you get there?
Exactly. And I think for anyone watching out there too, it's like if you want to, if you want to sell before you buy, all you have to do is let us know, because we've been through it and seen it all. So you just advise and we'll take care of the rest.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, Kylene, that was great. We're going to do this again next month. We've been kicking around a few ideas.
Yeah.
One that I thought just now was maybe talk a little bit about pricing and how to deal with, for
Mhm.
sellers. It might be a little bit one-sided, but if anybody out there has a question that they need to have an answer for, give us a call, send us an email, and we'll discuss it.
Yes, or post your questions in the comments for next time. We'd love to address anything.
So that's it for this month. Take care.
Awesome. Have a great day.